Hey guys, it's Yusafa. Welcome back to another video. This video is still about Banquet 2025, but now we're talking about what's actually going to be inside of the Banquet crystals. Why am I doing this now when Banquet isn't going to happen for another month, month and a half, 2 months? Well, Kabam is already out there right now trying to figure out what the percentage drop rates and the items that are going to be included in the bonus items for the Superior Banquet crystals, assuming, of course, that the event's going to look like a lot like last year and the years before. And there's no reason why we should assume that's going to look any different than the years before. So we can use a lot of historical data to go ahead and predict and influence Kabam before they go final on what is actually going to be in their Banquet crystals. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll go through all my assumptions and go through my analysis and desires and wants and modifications to whatever items are going to be in the SBCs. So first of all, let's start with the basics. For this analysis, I'm assuming a summoner opens 1,000 Superior Banquet crystals. Now, for some of you, that 1,000 may be way too many. There's no way you're going to open up 1,000. But we just use this for a statistical basis for a good sample size to get a idea of what a summoner is going to get out of these SBCs. So each pull is independent, meaning the drop rates don't change crystal, and most importantly, all percentages add up to 100% between rank up and non-rank up rewards. Going further into that, these Superior Banquet crystals are broken up by rank up materials and non-rank up materials. The rank up materials would be like the T6B, the T6CC, the T7B, and then the non-rank up materials, which would be kind of like Awakening Gem shards or Titan shards or 7-star shards, and that kind of for the actual crystals. So we broke them up by non-rank up materials and rank up materials. So looking back on last year's Banquet, the data came back in. Data came from publicly shared 2024 SBC pool. Whales were primarily chasing rank up materials to take champions from rank 2 to rank 3. That was the big one. And then they introduced small amount of shards for the R4 rank ups, which a lot of people chased at. It was only like 630 shards for a $63,000 fully formed catalyst, so it was pretty crazy. The real bottlenecks that we all saw in the SBCs were the Tier 3 Alpha and the Tier 6 Basic. And of course, the trophy champion was Jessica Jones, appearing for the first time as a 7-star. And we're going to go into a little bit about this a little later in the video, but remember, please, that last year's SBCs were extremely deficient in Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basic, that Kabam actually had to go back and offer a special deal to allow people to actually procure those outside of the SBCs. So this video and this suggestion is aimed at trying to help Kabam not do that same mistake twice. So we'll see. So let's talk about 2025. This year, the chase is different. The game has evolved. We also now focused on ranking up rank 3 to rank 4 progression. To take a champion to rank 4, you need exactly 3 T7B, 4 T4 alphas, 6 T6 class catalysts, 9 tier 6 basics, and 9 tier 3 alphas. So based upon my modeling, I've tuned drop rates and shard bundle sizes so that 1,000 SBCs will allow a summoner to rank up about 12 champions from rank 3 to rank 4. Rank 4 mats or rank up mats now represent roughly a 55% of the bonus pool, leaving 45% for those non-rank up items like the Titan shards or the Awakening Gem crystals, the chase champions, and so forth. And this year, we're also expecting the very first drops of the Tier 5 Alpha fragments, which will be needed for a rank 4 to rank 5. Now, it's not going to be a huge amount. It's going to fall a lot like last year, probably another 630 shards, where you need 63,000 shards to fully form a Tier 5 Alpha. Again, the non-rank up items. The pool remains consistent. It's 7-star shards, Titan shards, Awakened Gems, Signature Stones, Glorious Keys, if they do a Glorious Key event like they did last year, and Selectors. But the probabilities are rebalanced to fit a 45% pool. Just like last year's Jessica Jones, I expect the command will include another exclusive Chase Champ at about a 0.1% chance. I don't know who it's going to be, but I expect them to release that Chase Champ. It's going to be it's pretty much a certainty. They've done it for many events since. So modeling caveats. Here are the ground rules for my math. I've converted shard bundles into full catalyst to using standard shard equivalencies. We got 45K for T3 alpha and so on and so forth. Leftover shards are treated as partials, but they don't count toward completed rank ups. And I'm assuming no prior stockpiles. Everything comes purely from the 1,000 crystals opened in this analysis. Here's the 2024 non-rank up table. This is based upon historical information that's been publicly released, mostly smaller bundles, rare keys, and Awakening Gem 6 stones, and of course the Jessica Jones, the trophy champ. And here are the rank up materials that were released in 2024 and the drop rates percentages associated with those. Now, the difference between last year and what I'm proposing this year is last year, 70% of the bonus items in the SBCs were non-rank up materials. So we're talking like Titan shards, we're talking like the Chase Champions, we're talking about Awakening Gem stuff, we're talking about Sig Stones and that kind of stuff. Those were considered non-rank up. So that was 70% of the overall probability within those SBCs. And then 30% was reserved for the rank up materials. The game has changed a lot. In my opinion, Titan shards aren't that important anymore. Crystal shards aren't that important anymore. I'm more focused on the rank up material. So I would like to see more rank up materials. So instead of a 70-30 split, I'm proposing a 45-55 split. So more deference and more importance is placed upon those rank up materials. All right. So, like we said before at the beginning of this video, last year they had a kind of a little bit of mistake with regards to how they balanced the Tier 6B and the Tier 3 Alpha. We can see in this chart that if you opened up 1,000 crystals, you would most likely be able to rank up from 2 to 3, 8 champions. And we saw that the bottleneck was Tier 6B and Tier 3 Alpha. Well, they alleviated that, so I'm alleviating the Tier 6B and Tier 3 Alpha from the bottleneck and saying that from 1,000 crystals opened back in 2024, Kabam was going to allow you to rank up 12 champions. Now, I'm also using that assumption that now this year, they're going to allow 12 champions to rank up from from 3 to 4. So that's how I based up my analysis. So based upon my analysis and what I said before, 45% of it would be non-rank up materials, while 55% of it would be rank up materials. I used essentially the same type of non-rank up materials in my analysis. So this is the 45%, and you can see here that I modified the drop rates and so forth in order to allow 55% more, or excuse me, more rank up materials to be allowed in the SBCs. Here are my modified drop rates for the rank up materials in 2025. And if you do a analysis of running opening 1,000 SBCs, you can see that I appropriately balanced between all the rank up materials, assuming that you're going from 3 to 4, so that you can optimize and average or not average, but achieve a 12 R3 to R4 rank up. At the same time, pulling in some additional resources from the Tier 5A that's going to be released this year. Now, this is a completely balanced. There are very many assumptions. Now, I'm taking this from the standpoint of me and my account. I have no more rank 1s that I need to do. I have no more rank 2s that I need to do. I have no more rank 3s that I really need to do. I'm completely focused on rank 3 to rank 4. Now that may not translate to the rest of the community, the vast majority of the community. They're still focused on getting champions up from rank 2 to rank 3 or obtaining new champions, so forth. This is totally from my standpoint and my view. So rank up materials expected. These are the figures that I achieved after running my analysis. And just as a comparison, you can see that I leveled out all of the probability and the drop rates for all of the rank up materials so that I can achieve 12% or 12 rank ups to rank 4. And then you can see last year it was a little bit more skewed, a little bit more messy. In order to get champions from rank 2 to rank 3, I removed those bottlenecks and I completely leveled the resources across all of them. Now, realistically, I mean, people like me open 1,000 SBCs, absolutely. some even more, right? So to me, this works for me. Now, for somebody that's opening up, 100, then their calculus may be different, or we still don't know what the deals are going to be with regards to the banquet. We don't know what the milestone track rewards are going to be. We don't know all this. This is purely looking at the SBCs and purely looking at leveling the bonus items from the SBCs and focusing more of them on the rank up materials than the non-rank up materials, while still allowing Kabam to have some flexibility within the non-rank up material area, so that they can offer those keys. They can offer the chase champs, the sig stones, awakening gem shards, and all that stuff. So again, this is a very simplistic analysis. It does reflect all my wants and desires for the SBCs and the banquet, what would provide value to me as a professed whale. But that's that. So if you like this video, please consider hit liking and subscribing. I'm going to be providing this to the live ops team to see if it somehow can help them identify what actually matters to me as I consider as value, while also catering and providing for the free to play as well as the casual spenders. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully that'll be good enough. Anyway, if you guys have any comments, questions, just paste them in the chat. Also, we're doing more voices of the community. We're doing another interview tonight. Really looking forward to that. And with that being said, I'll check you guys in the next video.